Hey everyone, this is Evgeny back to you, and today we are watching at Windsurf editor and we are checking what's planning the new feature that was introduced pretty recently is, right? So we check how cool is that and if you can use it at all. Maybe it's very useful, who knows? So let's dive in. Alright, so for those who are not aware, this is Windsurf editor. I opened here my Java Spring project task manager, but doesn't matter really what the project is, just I grabbed something I had already on my disk in the file system, and we are checking today how planning is working. And well, basically, if you are not aware of Java, just ignore all this stuff. We are not going to review the details, what was generated, because this is a normal way every AI agent works, and we are checking today plans. So what's that? And practically it's here, you have the new feature, and the good and the bad thing, we have two things, good and bad, and the bad thing is that it will cost you some money or credits in the future, and well, this is unfortunately, so you have to pay for this additional feature. And the good thing is a temporary good, but anyway, it's a better feature at the moment, so it's for free. It costs you zero, no additional costs. That's what's said here. And it's very clear how to enable it. You just click here and it's highlighted with the planning session. And let's try and do something. But before we do this, let me explain maybe to you a bit of details of that. And this is not about one new cool feature that helps you somewhere. There's a huge concept behind that. And if you think about your normal way of working with AI editors like Windsurf, like Cursor, Journey as well these days, right? You are communicating via this chat normally, and you can make references to your code, ask questions, ask to perform something like some task, etc., right? And this is practically so-called short-term actions, because generally when you're working in this way, you still keep in a plan, right? You follow your inner plan in your brain, what should be done, which way, how, and based on the discussions here, you can change your plan as well. For example, you might have thought that a feature should be implemented in a certain way, and then you realized, okay, this is really bullshit, and you have to go a completely different way. So you're changing your plan in your mind, and this is something which is not part of AI agents these days, and it's kind of a symbiotic combination of human and AI agents working together. And applying these plans maybe as a step forward to this approach, if you were watching me doing this working with AI agent in the past, you saw that normally you would start planning in AI agent, so you are trying different approaches, you check the combinations, you challenge some things, and at the end you have a plan which you can keep in the chat and refer to it maybe, and that's what I was doing. Later I found a way that you can create a text file and keep all the information there, and it works fine. But still the piece is missing when you change your plan. What should you do, right? And so this feature is kind of trying to cover this gap between the long planning and long plans, bigger ideas, and these short-term actions. Well, but enough talk. Let's try something, and I will grab the same example I was using for Juni, for testing Juni. So I'm copy-pasting it here, and in general, again, if you are not Java fan, just don't care much about the details. But in general, this is a web application, and we would like to create a rate limiting to our endpoints to protect our application, kind of, and so we're just providing a basic task. And let me maybe rephrase it a bit here. So it says, I will need a basic rate limited to all endpoints using Spring Boot. I want to block requests just using memory, but using annotations would be the preferred approach. I don't know how drunk I was when I was writing that. So I can also configure the timing as annotation parameter. And this is a crucial point. I am asking not to perform the, I'm just trying to be more clear what I want, right? I'm asking to discuss for me, to discuss this idea with me and maybe create a plan first. Probably if this feature is on, you can skip this wording like create a plan or something. It knows already that the plan should be created, but let's be more precise, right? How we can do this? And make this plan as detailed as possible. So I'm in the right mode. I'm on Cloudy 3.7, but that's not so critical for the planning, because under the hood for planning they're using better reasoning model, which costs a lot, like more than Cloudy 3.7 definitely. And they're using this reasoning model to understand the idea and create a plan. Anyway, I'm clicking enter. Let's just take a look. And I'm closing this one because we don't need it. We don't care much about the real changes. We are testing plans now. All right, what's happening there? It says, okay, planning. She's gonna create a detailed initial plan based on my requirements. Okay, and here we have something. All right, and by the way, this is very random session. I don't have any plan. I personally don't have any plan. I'm just trying to challenge it, give it a touch, see how it works, and all this kind of stuff. So what do we have here? Does this approach align with what you had in mind? So I have a chance to work on that as well, right? Accept all the changes. An interesting thing here, for example, it's what you need to understand about that. You can work on the plan at the same time as well. For example, if this is your real work, you can copy paste some information. Maybe this is Jira ticket, you can post information from the Jira ticket, or maybe the better idea, if you have MCP server that is aware how to grab this information from your infrastructure, like Google Docs, Jira ticket, file system. Like in other videos, we are creating such an MCP server which will be responsible for grabbing all this corporate information about processes, about decisions. Then you can ask also to fetch this information. It will be printed here, or even if you don't know, to pass it manually, right? And this is kind of a plan, and you can keep it over the time you're working with the feature. Anyway, what's here? Research the existing annotation-based rate limiting pattern in Spring Boot, and then design a custom annotation for rate limit. Okay, maybe current goal research, right? And let's give it a try. So, do the research. And see, it's kind of really planning on live, like live session. You are communicating with the machine, and at some point it will try probably to start the real implementation. And interesting thing that let it finish the work, and if it's going to update the plan. I'm really curious about that. But while it's working, just think about that. You can keep it, for example, have a Jira ticket, and you can have the plan for the Jira ticket, and you put all information there for the machine. It knows about that. You have different ideas, you have different, I don't know, maybe ways how to solve this thing. Everything is documented here. If you think something is missing, you still can add it to the plan, right? Oh, now updating the plan accordingly. And marked, okay, we do have some updates. And look at that, we have additional nodes, and let me just accept everything. Okay, so it recommends me something, but again, let's pretend we don't care about Java at all, right? We don't care about architectural decisions here. We're just checking how planning is working. And what do we have here? Task list, research is finished, it's marked as finished. And next goal, if you say run, right, it will be designing a new custom annotation, rate limiting, and rate limit the name. And it added some nodes based on the research, like AOP is commonly used. Okay, that's true. Bucket for J is popular. Okay, don't care much. An example, annotation parameters, max request wins some ideas, right? Maybe we can change the plan, right? Document usage and configuration in README. Maybe we should say something, okay. Like, it was a research, right? And I would like to see some real output of this research. And look at that, I'm saying that, okay, we need to update this information, document it somewhere. It's not that it's doing this, it's created a new task list, document technical decisions and rationale behind that. And it's kind of a requirement, right? It should be documented. Okay, now I think it's triggered already to design a custom annotation. Well, I never asked for that, but it like the normal way how all this AI agent works. They decided on their own when it's time to just start. Oh, no, don't change my code. And this is really annoying for me, like it stopped doing something and you don't have control. I apologize for moving too quickly, right? I'm very slow, I don't like these quick movements. I'm very slow in thinking, and we have a new requirement, like user requires explicit approval. Okay. And maybe, okay, let's give it a try and finally design the custom annotation for rate limiting. Or, okay. Now maybe let's do a different thing. Let's try to expand what's inside this task, right? And memory was updated as well. Okay, I do not. And I'm trying to expand this to make it more detailed, break it down the correct wording, so you can learn English as well. Like when you are working with this thing, right, you can learn the proper English. And then at the end you would talk the AI style of language. It's a pretty nice thing as well. Okay, it was updated. Decide the annotation name. I'm accepting everything. And just take a look at that. It's a really great thing, right? If you take the plan, it's somewhere very deep into the Windsurf files, and I think it's connected to this chat, so you can go back to. It's kind of a context for everything, right? If you go back to this chat, then the plan is again active, and you can continue working on that. And if you don't like something, you can work on it and type it here, like change the ways how it should be done, right? Now, was that updating the plan to reflect the user's approval? I said the whole task, not the whole list, right? But we'll see. You'll see it should stop here, right? Implementing everything, the custom annotation, rate limit, do some required parameters, targets, whatever. Just let's wait until it's finished and then we see where we are, right? And take a look at that. It stops periodically and okay, there is a need to update the plan, right? And no, user now requested full implementation without step-by-step approval. That's not true. That's not true. I asked about performing on a single task. Let me stop it. Stop it. See, I'm getting nervous because a lot of files were changed without me noticing that. Anyway, we are somewhere already almost finished, right? Except I accept everything. Look at that, it tries to understand me what was done already, but I can clearly see this from the planning, right? But basically you understand the idea, right? You got the idea how to work, and interesting thing, you can put something here as well, like it's up to you, right? It's just a document. You can create a new section like your task definition or something, right? And this will be taken into account in the next planning session. So it's really a big step forward, I would say. For me, it's the first time I'm giving it a try. I don't know about details. Maybe there are some drawbacks, some edge cases. We will see. It's time for us, for all of us, to test it. I would push you to test it as well, because again, now it's free. It's a better feature. You have time to properly test it, to give it a try for your real tasks and see how it performs. And leave the comment about that. And for now, maybe let's wrap up the session. Let's do a trick. Ha ha ha. Look at that. But this is normal model, right? It understands. Yeah, it understands. It got the idea. Let's pretend we did it already and just update the plan. But again, just to wrap up the things, there is a new feature. It's about planning mode, and if you enable it, and it's for free for time being, it will be some money in the future. And that will give you these planning sessions, so you don't have to keep your own memories in your head, in your brain, or you don't need to save it in the files and then copy paste it manually. It's there already. And again, it's kind of, it's an interesting idea. It's not just a cool feature which gives you something. It's an interesting idea that, by the way, it's creating the documentation, the last item here. But it gives you the idea of the way they're trying to repeat how human brain is working. So this is the main idea. And the first look looks promising. That's it for the session. You got the idea how it works. You got the idea how you can use these plans again. You can put a lot of information there. You can reuse MCP servers. If you don't know what's that, take a look at our other videos where we're creating this MCP that can grab tasks from Jira file system, Google Documents, some other repositories. And I didn't get what I wanted. I want you to mark all the tasks as done, not printed here to me. What should I do with this? What should I do with this cascade? Well, okay, let it work. And it was me, Evgeny. Thanks again for watching this video till the end. And I really hope that you'll give a try this new feature if you're using Windsurf. Because two reasons. Because it's cool and because it's free for now. Take care, and I will see you next time in the next video about Windsurf. See you and bye-bye.